Alright guys, my base pads just arrived. These are the Taran Tactical base pads. And I gotta tell you, the shipping was very fast on these guys. I mean, it was just like, sent out and arrived just within a couple, 2 to 3 days after I ordered them. I've never handled these or used them before. So what I got is I got one for the G17 and I got one for the Glock 43. So what I'm going to do is unbox them, put them on the magazines, load them up, and see how they feel and how they work out. Okay, this must be the one for the G40. No, maybe not. No, it's not the G43, I'll tell you that. Be kind of crazy if it was, wouldn't it, with that huge spring? Okay, so basically what I got was the +6 for the Glock 17 in flat black. I just wanted to go with that because it'll kind of offset the frame. I got the frame and the Surefire X300 Ultra on there, and since the slide's black and the handle's FDE, I figured it would be cool to have the black base pad on there. I really like the red as well, and they're out of stock on the red on there. So this is just a flat black, and I'll tell you about how easy it is to install after I install it, but it's a very simple process. No need for me to do that on camera. Okay, this is the spring that will allow you to reliably feed +6 in your gun. So you have 23 plus 1 in the chamber. I've heard some guys say that it's very difficult to load 23 into the magazine with this on, that they're only some guys only do 22. So we'll go ahead and check that out once I get it on the magazines, and we'll just see if that's the case or not. Okay, now what I did was, they don't say that you need a magazine spring for the Glock 43. If you use the Taran Tactical base pads. This is the +1. The +1 basically doesn't really add much at all to the dimensions of the Glock 43. Okay, the +2 seems to be considerably bigger to me, and I want the gun to stay roughly the same, and it pretty much does with the Taran Tactical +1 base pad. When I get that on there, you'll see there's not much difference, between this and the Taran Tactical. Maybe something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'll have +1. But what I did was, and they don't say that you have to, right on the Taran Tactical site, I ordered the Wolf spring for the G43. This is the +10% extra power spring. So basically, that extra round would have been riding on the original spring, and I'm sure it would be okay. But I just went ahead and got the Wolf G43 10% extra power spring. It'll give me that much more peace of mind, knowing that it's reliable. And in case you don't know, Wolf springs are one of the best springs on the market, and I've had them in several Glocks, or at least one Glock before that I can recall right off the bat. I think even more. But the Wolf springs are great. Very reliable spring. So, okay guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this on the magazines and come back. I'm not going to use the one with the Vickers base plate. I'm going to use one of these other ones that I had laying around. And then I'm going to put the Glock 43 one. I'm going to take off. I don't like the extension on there. So I'm going to take off this extension and put on the Taran Tactical onto here. And then I'll turn the camera back on and I'll load them up for you guys and let you see what I think. All right, I'll be back with you in a bit. All right, guys, it was really simple to put these Taran Tactical base pads on. If you need to see a video on how to remove the base plates from your standard Glock magazines, I do have a detailed up-close video up about that, so feel free to look that up on my channel. Just put in like Humans for Targets 2 magazine disassembly. So it was very easy. I got them on here. So let's just kind of start and see how they load and how they work. Okay, both guns have been cleared out, and we're going to start with the little Glock 43 magazine, which now it should be a 7+1. So in this one I run Spear Gold Dot. So we'll go 1. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and chamber the gun up, because we're going to feel what it's like to seat this magazine also with 7 in it. So here we go with the 7. 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, not too shabby, 6, don't feel bad at all. Now that one is tight. I gotta tell you, that one was tight, but I think it'll work itself out by leaving the mag loaded for a little while. I think that'll work itself out. So let's go ahead and put this in the gun and see how it feels. Locks in. Locks in, no problem there. That's what I really like, guys, is this +1 doesn't really add much to the gun. As you can see, with the standard magazine, let me go ahead and get this one out, and we'll look at the exact differences. So, if we put them on the table right there, like that, that's the only difference you have between those two mags. So you're not adding much to the dimension of the gun, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so let's set them like this. See, the Taran Tactical is just a hair taller. So you're not adding much to the dimensions of the gun, and that's exactly what I was going for with this setup. It is pretty tight with that wolf spring, but that's okay. Just leave the mag loaded for a while. Now for the big boy. Okay, so these are Federal HSTs, and I got 18 on the table, and then we'll load 5 more. So we're going to go ahead and start here, and we'll see how this one loads up. Feels like very adequate pressure. For the mag spring. I don't think there will be any problem with this running right. Plus, these have been around for a long time. A lot of competition shooters are using these, and I don't believe that there are any bugs in the system, so to speak. I think everything has been worked out. So, now we're going to get out 6 so we can chamber 1 in the gun. So we're going to load sorry guys, I didn't mean for this to be boring, but I guess that's just the way it is right now. We're going to go ahead and chamber 1 up. And now we need 6 to top it off. Don't worry about the rattle. It's just because they're staggered. There's one in there that's kind of it's free to move back and forth. Now that one was pretty tight. So this is the one that guys say they have trouble with. Oh, wow. It's getting this. Man. Let me go off camera for a minute. Alright guys, I just wanted to let everyone know that I did get 23 rounds into the magazine. So got +6 in there for a total of 24 with 1 chambered. After I turned the camera off, I basically did a function check with both these guns. Basically what I could do without going to the range for a function check or test was just to run the rounds through the gun and see how they cycled by running the slide fast. And so far, I mean, with that kind of a test, everything ran fine, so I think everything will work out with them. But after I loaded this one a couple of times, I was able to, wasn't too hard for me to get 23 into there. Okay, so this does have 23 now, and 1 in the chamber. So we're all good there, just like it advertises. Here's how it seats of course, on a closed slide is where a magazine's going to be toughest to seat, okay, because you're going up against the loading bar. So with 23 in there, no problem. I'll show you how much pressure it actually takes. Right there. So, nothing at all to get that in there. On this, the wolf spring was a little bit too much. I went back to the standard spring and it works just fine. You do not need the wolf spring for the +1 base plate. That wolf spring is just too much. You can see that it's almost the same length as the G17 spring, which is what I'm holding in this hand, and this is the wolf spring. So if you go with the +2 base plate, I would get the wolf +10 power, but it was too much in here. It was too much, and I went back to the standard spring, and the gun's cycling fine. And as you can see here on a closed slide, doesn't take much force to pop that magazine in there. You know, I'm not even smacking it hard. So there you go, guys. Taran Tactical, the TTI base plates. I'm really happy with it. I have no concern that these will run fine. These have been out for a long time. There's competition shooters and a lot of guys that use these, and I have no worries at all about the reliability. And as far as this, there's tons of guys that have these. They were selling out of these when when the Glock 43 first came out, they started making them. And, everything seems to be good. So, all right, guys, until next time, this is H4T, out.